Hi, my name is Brina Eccles, and in this presentation, I'll be discussing Counseling Microskills, Foundations of Effective Counseling. This presentation is based on Chapter 7, Counseling Microskills, from the Orientation to the Counseling Profession textbook. I'll be discussing three key concepts that stood out to me and how I plan to apply them in my future counseling practice. Before discussing the three key concepts, it's important to understand why counseling microskills matter. Counseling microskills are the basic communication skills counselors use to build rapport, establish trust, and better understand their clients. While they may seem simple, they're really the foundation of effective counseling. The three concepts that stood out the most to me were the importance of counseling microskills, attending skills, and the basic listening sequence. The first concept that stood out to me was the importance of counseling microskills. One thing I learned from this chapter is that effective counseling begins with the relationship between the counselor and the client. The quote on this slide explains that counseling is most effective when the counselor and client develop a strong therapeutic alliance. This really stood out to me because it reminded me that before clients are willing to be vulnerable with me or make meaningful changes, they first need to feel safe, heard, and understood. That is why counseling microskills are so important. Skills like attending behaviors, active listening, reflection, and empathy help build trust and create a space where clients feel comfortable sharing their experiences. The second concept that stood out to me was attending skills. Attending skills are verbal and nonverbal behaviors counselors use to show clients they are fully present and actively listening. These include eye contact, which lets clients know that we're paying attention and genuinely interested in what they're sharing. Body position, which communicates openness and helps clients feel more comfortable during the counseling process, and vocal tone, which communicates empathy, warmth, and support. Sometimes how we say something can have just as much of an impact as the words themselves. It's also important to note that too much or too little eye contact or inappropriate body position can make a client feel uncomfortable instead of supported. So, counselors should be mindful of their clients' beliefs, their backgrounds, and values. The quote on this slide reinforces that attending skills are about much more than simply looking at a client. They involve communicating genuine interest, empathy, and respect through both our verbal and nonverbal behaviors. When counselors use these skills effectively, clients are more likely to feel heard and understood. And learning about attending skills really made me think about my job as a dyslexia teacher. I've had many conversations with parents who were frustrated, overwhelmed, and worried about their child. I've noticed that when I maintain appropriate eye contact, I use an open and attentive body position, and I speak with a calm and reassuring tone of voice, and really giving them my full attention, they're more comfortable talking with me. It reminded me that communication is so much more than just the words we use. And I know these attending skills will be just as important when I'm counseling clients to help them feel heard, understood, and supported. The third concept that stood out to me was the basic listening sequence. This approach gives counselors a roadmap for truly understanding their clients' concerns instead of making assumptions. Things like open questions encourage clients to share their experiences in more detail and keeps the conversation moving. Reflection allows counselors to show that they're listening and that they understand both the client's thoughts and emotions. And finally, summarization brings the conversation together by highlighting the most important points and making sure the counselor has understood the client correctly. I think these skills work together to strengthen empathy and build a stronger therapeutic relationship. How will I apply these skills in my future counseling practice? The biggest takeaway for me is the importance of building trust first. I believe clients are more likely to open up and engage in the counseling process when they feel safe and supported. I also want to create an environment where my clients feel comfortable sharing their experiences without the fear of judgment. This chapter reminded me that empathy isn't communicated only through words. Using eye contact, body language, and tone of voice all play an important role in helping my clients feel understood. Finally, I know that developing these skills will be an ongoing process. As I continue my education and gain experience, I hope to become a counselor who communicates with empathy, builds strong therapeutic relationships, and creates a safe space for clients to grow. So, in conclusion, counseling microskills are the foundation of effective counseling. Building rapport, using attending skills, and applying the basic listening sequence all contribute to developing strong therapeutic relationships. This chapter reinforced that counseling is about much more than asking questions or giving advice. It's about creating an environment where clients feel heard, understood, and supported. As I continue my journey towards becoming a professional counselor, I look forward to developing these skills so I can provide the best possible care for my future clients. Thank you for listening.